Like so many Americans, Mark and Deanne Stidham just wanted to make a better life for their children, all 14 of them. So despite Mark being a successful contractor in Southern California, they were always looking for opportunities to bring in some extra income.
Construction can be very cyclical. There's some really great times and there's some not so great times. And one of the great things was Deanne had this great side business that brought in that extra money that really relieved stress for the extras, for the family.
I had been doing a little business that we called the dress party at the time. I would unload 1,000 little girls' dresses. They were name brand dresses, so everybody was excited about what I had. It was very temporary because it was 2 times of the year. I was right before Easter, 3 weeks before Easter, and 3 weeks before Christmas.
After her daughter had posted pictures of a maxi skirt her mom made for her on her Instagram, Deanne found herself inundated with requests from other women wanting skirts of their own.
I started to book maxi skirt parties. I went back to all my customers in the past. I told them, listen, I'm coming with a ton of maxi skirts. Remember, the way that this goes is that you invite your friends. I come to your house. What they see, they grab and they take them and go home. And it created another frenzy. I could do 4 parties a day.
Word quickly spread. Deanne found herself traveling with her parties beyond California into places like Arizona, Utah, and Nevada.
I mean, she went on the road and in less than 5 months sold 20,000 maxi skirts in home parties. I mean, that's, if you do the math on that, that's just a phenomenal accomplishment.
But the demand was growing, and with Deanne on the road, that left no one in California to get fabric and oversee the manufacturing. No one, that is, aside from her husband Mark.
I'll never forget the first time she called me. I'm on a construction site, and she calls and says, on your way home, I need you to stop in LA and buy more fabric. Now, I'm a concrete contractor. What I know about fabric, at that point in time was less than zero. But I did, and I went in and I FaceTimed our one daughter and I had her tell me which ones to get. As I started to help her, I realized that she could use my help, and I realized that I couldn't do that and run a construction company at the same time. And so one morning I woke up, and I don't know if you've ever struggled with a decision, and it's so heavy and it's overwhelming until you make a decision. And in the minute you make the decision, you go, aha, the weight is lifted.
Mark quit contracting so he could focus on Deanne's business, which was about to experience a monumental change.
And then I go to my hotel room. I had traveled about 7 hours away from home, and the next morning I get a call from the hostess who says, Deanne, can I stop by your hotel before you leave, because I have about 6 or 7 women that did not make it last night, and they're sick inside because they're sad that they might have missed out on their opportunity to get maxi skirts.
And I reached out to her and asked if I could buy 20 or so maxi skirts and sell them for myself, and she let me come pick out some skirts.
And it was right then when I had this idea. I called up Mark. I said, Mark, I don't know what to charge her. I feel guilty for charging her the full price for these skirts because she's, bought like 25 skirts. And it was he and I together that said, we should figure out a way that we could help Brittany make money.
And in that instant, LuLaRoe was born. They made clothing party hosts could buy wholesale and sell at their events. The idea, and with it the demand, took off quickly. And with Mark and Deanne as the sole owners, they often found themselves barely able to keep up.
During that time, there were times that our home was in foreclosure. And I specifically remember the last time it was in foreclosure, we were just days away from actually having the courthouse sale.
Their ability to keep up with demand, even when they were paycheck to paycheck, they credit to the fact that they primarily bought from American-based suppliers.
Early on, a lot of people would say, well, why don't you have your product made offshore? And the answer is, it's not that much cheaper, quite honestly. There's a little bit of savings, but the real answer was, I could not get the turns on inventory that I could having it made in LA. And so we could literally buy fabric on Monday and have finished product by Friday and have it out the door the following Monday and get paid for it before the end of that week. Those kind of turns on inventory is what allowed us to finance internally.
To say their strategy has paid off might just be an understatement. In just 5 years' time, and only within the US, LuLaRoe has sold massive numbers, all without a single investor, and while remaining nearly debt-free.
And last year, our retail sellers sold $2.4 billion worth of clothing. That resulted in over $1 billion of profit put into their pockets. We're very proud of that because that's money that's being spent in communities. That's going back into Little League and ballet lessons and music lessons and things in the community.
What began as a way to provide for their family is now providing for other families all around the country, and perhaps soon beyond.
Right now we're looking at a couple of different places for our first expansion out of the United States. We have the men's market that we've barely scratched the surface of. We have children's we've barely scratched the surface of. We have continued styles and adjustments inside of the female market. We have a lot of opportunities to continue to grow, whether that goes international or whether it's domestic. But as long as the growth serves those retailers and gives them more opportunity to create more freedom in their lives, then we're going to pursue it.